Well, I like making food that tastes good, and I don't even mind making food that tastes bad. But if I had to choose, I think I'd pick the former. So if you want to know how to make it a little bit better, but maybe not quite as good as it maybe could be, I think that you should listen to what I'm talking about. And if you learn a little something from this, well, I hope it served a purpose, and hey, that's what we're here for. Good, better. Nailed it. Woo!
Hello and welcome to the Cook Better podcast. I am Corey and I am joined again by my brother Nate.
Hello.
And we are going to continue the conversation about hamburgers and cheeseburgers and burgers in general. If you have not listened to the first episode, it would be the one directly before this. And I would recommend listening to that first, since that's number one. And this is number two.
Yeah.
So, just to briefly recap, the last episode we talked about, what did we talk about? Smash Burger versus, we got into all kinds of stuff. We went off on a tangent at the end about
chicken,
Impossible Burgers and stuff like that, but we went through proteins, the different proteins. We went through Smash Burger versus Thick Burger. I don't know what you call them. Smash Burger's got a catchy name.
Original,
yeah. Whatever.
Not fast food.
Not fast food type burger. And I think that's really only about as far as we got.
Yeah.
Didn't cover. We covered a lot. But there is a lot to cover with burgers, and we talked about a little bit about method, griddle versus grill versus smoked. I touched on that. So I guess we'll get into, where do we start here? Another thing that I guess we'll start with the bun or the bread or the carb that we're going to wrap or put our burger in. I think that the bun can have as big of an effect on not only the flavor of the burger, but the style of the burger as the seasonings that we mix in the meat. And I guess I'm just going to assume that we're talking about beef kind of from here on
we'll
out.
Go out from beef.
Because beef's what you're normally, when somebody thinks burger, you're thinking beef. And if you want to switch that out to some plant-based option, go for it, but we're talking beef and not chicken or a brat burger.
They all apply.
You can use it for any type of protein. But my favorite, I guess, if I'm going with the bun of choice, if I'm gonna make a good burger, for me is a brioche bun. Is where I go. I don't know what if you agree or disagree.
I don't mind a brioche bun.
Right.
But mine is an onion bun.
Okay.
I
kind of
like that.
I always think of Arby's when I get onion bun, like an Arby's roast beef has an onion bun. But an onion bun. And that's, I don't know what kind of bun that, it's not a potato roll or
no, it's just normally
it's just
white flour
whatever
bun.
Yeast bread, white bun. But
just gives a little bit of
a little extra. Yeah. And I think, and what I like about the brioche bun is it's soft. It's a little bit of sweetness, but it's not super sweet. I've done for sure sliders, but I've done full size burgers too using a Hawaiian roll.
Oh yeah,
King's Hawaiian, whatever. And though that is almost, you got to be in the mood for that because that's really sweet. Almost.
Yeah, but
dangerously
close
to cakey. It's super soft, so that's what's good. But brioche is a little bit just pillowy, and I just like it. So an onion, like an onion bun, I've done like sesame seed bun or whatever, and
that's a nice thing about what you're saying about brioche, because you could honestly melt a little butter over top of it and put any seasoning on it you want, because it's a blank canvas. So brioche is a good choice.
Yeah. But brioche can be a little more expensive.
Yeah.
And you can make your own.
Yeah.
Bonus if you're making some from scratch. No, I can't. Joshua Wiseman. It's a YouTube channel. Very good cook. You can find his recipes on Pinterest, but he has a burger bun recipe that's like a brioche bun that he makes from scratch. I have not yet done it. It's on my list of things to do. Now that we're getting through summer, I don't know if I'll do that this year yet or not, but if you make your bun from scratch, even better.
Yeah.
Again, it's the ingredients list that we're talking about. It's going to be a lot less additives if you're making it at home with 4 different ingredients as opposed to buying buns. But if we're buying buns, even if I'm making it at home, I'd want to do a brioche style bun.
Yeah.
But it also depends on the type of burger you're making.
It really does.
I just before we started this, I kind of just briefly introduced you to a guy that I've been watching for a long time, for years on YouTube. He's got cookbooks and everything. His name's George Motz, and he's called The Burger Scholar. If you search him on YouTube, search The Burger Scholar, and he makes regional burgers. And just a warning, it's not always PG, so if you're watching it with kids, it's probably not a great idea. But he goes through just like the entire Midwest, and he'll cook like the olive burger from Michigan, or he'll cook like a butter burger or a goober burger, which has peanut butter on it and pickles and whatever. And all of them are regional, specific burgers.
And he was funny.
From. And he's funny. He's accurate, historically accurate. He's got multiple books on burgers, which seems insane to me. Yeah. But I've learned a lot just watching it, and it's given me some good ideas. Some of them are steamed burgers, and some, so it's definitely a channel to check out. Getting onto burgers, but I say that to say some burgers, if you're trying to make something regionally specific, or maybe you're going to use white bread, because there are some, and in a bind, I'll just use white bread for a burger bun too. Sandwich bread is definitely not my preferred option, but if I'm trying to,
But it's one of those crazy things, because it is definitely a Michigan thing, but if you're going to use white bread, my go-to is an olive burger. Oh, yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. And some people, if you're not from Michigan, might be, what in the world, an olive burger, what does that mean? And it should seem somewhat, I think it seems obvious that an olive burger requires olives, but they're green olives, and
lots of them.
It's a whole thing. And check out George Motz's thing on the olive burger, but it originated in Michigan, which is where we're from. And it's basically, you can just mix mayonnaise together with green olives all cut up, and that's your topping on your burger.
That's it.
And the original didn't have any cheese. It was just that green olive mayonnaise and a little bit of that olive brine, that liquid that the olives come in, cocktail olives, and that was it. But if I'm making one, I like cheese. But I like cheese on I like cheese on apple pie. Yeah. Cheddar cheese slice on apple pie. So maybe don't go by me, but
seems like a poverty burger, but is delicious.
Yeah, something about that salty. The mayonnaise has, you get your fatty, savory. I don't know. It just works.
It works. Yeah.
And something about that with a just a sandwich bread does go together well. Yeah. But so I'll do but brioche is where I go to. Any bun that I use personally, I shouldn't say that, because it's not any bun. I like, if I'm doing a brioche and I'm doing a smash burger, I always toast my bun as well, whether it's on the griddle or on the grill. If it's on the griddle, I will butter the bun and then put it on there. But sometimes I've done it, just set it on there just to char it up. And a big part of that is then your condiments and stuff don't absorb into that soft bun and turn into a mushy mess. But I think toasting the bun is,
and that's
usually a must.
Yeah.
Not always, though.
I always go with how soon am I going to eat this burger? Because I actually like the taste of just like the pillowy bun, but there's other burgers where I want like the crunch. Yeah. And then you can throw like garlic on it, and then you can make it into like garlic toast bun.
Yeah, right.
So there's a lot of times if I know I'm going to pull this off from the grill and I'm going to eat it right away, I'll just leave it. I won't toast it. I just like the squishiness of it.
Yeah.
So,
well, and when we were growing up, and our mom still does this to this day, she'll take just I don't know what stadium, just a standard, stadium
bun
or a hamburger bun, but she'll throw them in the microwave. Just to warm them up sometimes, too.
Bag.
Just in the bag.
I do that, too. I think I got it from Mom.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. And then it just makes that warm bun, and it kind of moistens it in a weird way, in a good way.
I will take a napkin, throw it under water quickly, and then throw it in there with it. So it has some moisture in with it.
Yeah, it gets a little steamed action going on. And that's really good. Just a warm hamburger bun, and yeah. So I don't have any hidden. I don't think anything. Maybe that's a hidden hack or something like that. Take a package of buns, a little damp paper towel, throw it in the microwave for 30 seconds or 20 seconds or whatever. It just gives a nice warm, moist bun. But and then I guess the only other thing that I know you've done it too, but I don't know if this qualifies as a bun, but making like a quesadilla burger.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're taking a flour tortilla. Yep. And you're basically doing a Taco Bell Crunch Wrap, but doing it a burger. And when we were in high school, we used to go to this restaurant that I don't think is there anymore. Maybe they're back now. Nope. I heard rumor they were coming back, but I don't know. The Dungeon is the name of this restaurant. And that was the first place we were introduced to a quesadilla burger. And I'm sure they've done it elsewhere. But you're just taking, in place of a bun, you're wrapping your taco, see? You're wrapping your hamburger in a tortilla, and they would sear the tortilla just to kind of like you would a Crunch Wrap. You do that multiple fold to encase the burger bun or burger patty, and then it's something good. There's something good about it.
So
I don't know why it's so different. It's just a different flavor, and anytime I go there, anytime I do that, I think of more of a Tex-Mex style burger, and I'll maybe put some salsa and some ranch, make some sort of salsa ranch.
It's the tortilla that makes you think that.
You got to do that with a tortilla, I guess, but that's just another option that if, something different, and you can do that on the grill or on the griddle or what. You don't have to toast or sear that tortilla closed, but the only thing with that is you want to try to get your toppings in. Think about your topping. Yeah, you got to think about your toppings prior to. So when you're making it for a group and somebody might not like onion, you got to go. What do you want on your burger or in your burger? But it's a great option for. Or if you don't have, whatever you forgot to grab hamburger or hot dog. Hamburger buns. Jeez. Hey, you forgot to grab hamburger buns from the grocery store, but you got tortilla shells. So I guess we're having quesadilla burgers tonight. Yeah. And I like those. That's a good change of pace too. I don't want burgers. We had burgers 2 days ago. Well, what about quesadilla burgers? They're a little different. So they'll I don't know. I like a quesadilla burger too. Yeah, that'll work. It's different. Tex-Mex type stuff. Yeah, and then I guess moving on from that, cheese, different types of cheese. Ooh. I don't know. Cheese is another thing that depends on the type of burger I want to make, how fancy, quote unquote, I want to get with it. But honestly, 90% of the time for me, I want American cheese on a burger. Unless I'm making, if I'm doing like a cowboy burger or something, maybe I want cheddar. But an American cheese is something about how that melts, and I don't know. Everybody knows what American cheese tastes like, but the flavor of it, I don't know. I think American cheese on a burger you can't lose. it's maybe not always the best option, but I don't know.
Well, what would be the one cheese you think you would never put on a burger? Is there one?
Well, if I was being devil's advocate, I'd say the only one I can think of is Parmesan, and that's only because it doesn't melt. But I like blue cheese on
blue cheese.
Feta cheese.
Feta cheese is good.
And a blue cheese, some reason blue cheese, when I think of, if I'm putting blue cheese on a burger, I'm also going to have bacon, and I'm going to have,
you're going to have a black and blue burger.
Yeah, black and blue burger. Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, there's not a cheese. I don't think,
I mean, Parmesan doesn't have to be like the green can. It can be shredded Parmesan.
Shredded Parmesan. And it would be good if you did. We had, my wife and I used to play in a co-ed kickball league, and we go to this bar called Charlie's.
Oh, yeah.
And they had I don't know what it was called, but it was an Italian-themed burger.
Oh,
they had a lot of different burgers, and they probably had Parmesan on that one, and they had marinara sauce on it, too.
I was going to say, you could do beef marinara, Parmesan.
Yeah, a little basil maybe, some fresh basil on there. And I don't know if they had that at that place, but that would be a really good burger.
See, I was thinking about a caprese burger.
Yeah.
I think that would be really good.
Get a little balsamic
glaze
on there. Yeah. So, I don't think there's a cheese I want, but if you do like with like a mozzarella or a provolone or a Parmesan, to that point, you almost have to have, I would have to be almost a themed burger in that way.
See, those mozzarella, provolone, and Parmesan, you said?
Yeah.
They would all work good with a chicken.
They would work really good with chicken.
So,
yeah. So,
I can't think of a cheese I wouldn't put on a certain burger.
No, and you do like a brie so mild that you could do whatever. I'd throw nacho cheese on a burger if it was
right.
The right thing. If I did that, But yeah, so there's not I agree. There's not a cheese that doesn't belong on a burger. It might be something
unless you're talking about fish burgers, fish sandwiches.
Yeah, filet of fish. Yeah, but they put American cheese on filet of fish sandwiches.
They're cheating.
Rightly or wrongly,
McDonald's.
rightly or wrongly, it's on there. But yeah, I don't know if there's a cheese that doesn't belong on a burger. Sorry about the cat meowing in the background. If you could hear that, the problem has been resolved, I think, hopefully.
Temporarily.
Yeah, temporarily at the very least. But I don't think there's any way that you go wrong with a specific cheese unless you're trying to theme a burger in a way and just pick the wrong one. I don't know that there's not really any technique I can give to maybe make, cheese make a burger better, but we're just talking about options for, whatever, however you want to stack the deck. And we're really just talking about ways we cook things anyway. Yeah. This might not be a way to do it better, but obviously
just enhances it.
Yeah. And if you're going for a certain style, you have people coming over and you want to, whatever, we're doing cowboy burger. If you put mozzarella cheese and marinara sauce on it, you really messed up. It's not the way you do it.
Yeah.
But so we got cheese. That's one kind of topping that we can put on our burgers.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's different ways. And you can do, like you said, smoked cheese, or there's ways to enhance the flavor of the cheese by smoking or doing something like that. But
cheese is cheese.
Cheese is cheese, yeah. And the quality you're gonna get's obvious at the grocery store when you're purchasing it. But sometimes something crazy isn't what you want to do. But a black and blue burger, that's got blue cheese is a very pungent flavor and a very specific flavor, and it can be an overwhelming flavor if you've got too much on the burger.
Yeah.
But that leads into some of the other toppings that we have, and I think vegetables is a big part of how you top a burger, and can make a big difference. I don't know. I've never really understood the people that are and I guess those people aren't going to be listening to this podcast anyway. My wife's cousin is like, I only like ketchup on my burger, and that just makes me sad.
But I don't like tomatoes.
Yeah, but I don't like. Don't put tomatoes on there. I don't, and I still don't. I don't know. People are just missing out when they do that, and I also think you're a child. Sorry. If you don't like tomatoes, but you want ketchup. But yeah, so ketchup, mustard, that's obvious.
Yeah.
And basic.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah.
But if I'm.
So what's a crazy, doesn't have to be crazy, but what's a different thing that you enjoy on your burgers?
I think I'll just do, I like spice.
Yeah.
You know, I know you do too.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think my go-to with anything is I want some heat.
Yep.
So nobody else in my family prefers it that way. So a lot of times it just means a hot sauce.
Okay.
And that can be good, but hot sauce on its own isn't anything special.
No.
And so I like jalapenos. Sometimes it's pickled jalapenos out of the jar that you have sitting in the fridge. Sometimes it's fresh jalapenos that you get, that I've got grown in the garden or whatever. But yeah, my go-to toppings on a burger, I honestly don't like. Ketchup isn't what I normally put on. I'll do mayonnaise. Oh. I like mayonnaise. I like some jalapenos, and then I'll put a type of hot sauce. Sometimes I'll do sriracha, and which is a different, isn't like
it's not hot sauce technically.
No, it's kind of, I don't know what you'd call it, but it's not just spice. It's got a little different flavor to it. But I like mayonnaise on there. I like, as far as sauces, I guess. I stay away from, the only reason I don't normally put ketchup is because, to me, ketchup's something that if I put ketchup on, it's going to taste like ketchup. Mm-hmm. And I always make two burgers. And I make them both at the same time because I don't want to have to stop eating and assemble another burger. But I usually will make them two different burgers.
Yeah.
So one's
a barbecue burger.
Yeah.
One's a regular.
One will have barbecue sauce, jalapenos, and crispy, like French fried onions or whatever. And then maybe some fresh, or some, I should say fresh, but raw onion.
Yeah.
And I think that to me is like and I'm not a huge barbecue sauce person, but I think that's, and then mayonnaise. And I think that's like about the perfect burger. And if I had that, I either want cheddar cheese or I want American cheese.
Yeah.
And then the other one I might do, maybe the other one I'll do ketchup, mustard, lettuce, tomato. And, but it all depends on what I've got in the fridge too. If I've got blue cheese, which I don't keep that on hand typically, unless I'm planning ahead for it.
Most people don't.
Yeah, most people don't. But if I plan ahead, I might do one burger like that because I've always got a jar of pickled jalapenos or whatever. And onion, if I know I'm doing burgers, I'll have an onion around. But what about you? Or I guess what is your?
So my ideal burger is ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, pickles, onions, tomato.
Tomato, yeah.
Yep, has to be a tomato on there. And lettuce.
Yeah.
I need
crunch.
I need all that. Yeah. If you're talking about like my best burger, that's it.
Yeah.
But, I've done like a sauerkraut burger or like a Reuben burger, I would call it. Tex-Mex burger with pico and all that kind of stuff. It's so versatile.
Yeah.
I mean, I like them all. Greek salad burger basically with like cucumbers, Kalamata olives, and
so
it can go everywhere.
Yeah, and I think that's why everybody likes burgers, is you can make it your own. You can make this basic thing, and people can dress it up the way they want it to taste, and it can have Yeah, I think I love a tomato too, but it's got also not going to be a Burger King tomato. Yeah. You know, you want a real tomato that's not
it needs
see-through.
To be in season.
Yeah, that's a garden tomato.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't have that. Okay, fine, I'll eat. It's still better than not having it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know any vegetable. I'm trying to think of what. But that's if I'm making it at home on a weeknight, I haven't really planned for it. I've just got the beef. I've got a bun. It's going to be what I said earlier. That's what, because the French fried onions is something I keep in there. And if I don't have them, fine, I'll just have the raw onions or whatever. But like I know I buy same pickles. That is a big one. But yeah, I think
a sweet addition that I know you've had is just like the deep fried or the fried onions is the fried jalapenos.
Oh yeah.
Those are a game changer.
Yeah, those are really good. I remember when you actually told me about those, and I'd never heard them. Well, I got to try those out, and those are really good. And it's the same thing with the lettuce. We talked about before. It's the textural differences.
Yeah,
it just adds a crunch, and it's something different.
Nothing nutritionally.
No,
for
it's not like eating a fresh jalapeno sliced on your burger. But I also, so we got our veggies.
Yeah,
everybody's had a burger before, and you know what you like. But I would challenge people to try something different because every restaurant's got a burger.
Yeah,
and part of that's because they're simple, they're easy to make.
Yeah,
but also you might run into something that. Like what I talked about in the last episode, where you mixing some stuff in there, that peanut butter and whatever. You might have something different that you've never had. Oh, this is really good. So I think the other part on mayonnaise, is aiolis, and that's where a restaurant's going to try to trick somebody into eating mayonnaise. But they think it's flavor. Fancy because it's an aioli. Mm-hmm. And there might be, I think technically there's a little, but it's mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Flavored mayonnaise. Yeah. Whether it's garlic aioli, which would be
sriracha aioli.
Yeah, sriracha. Yeah. You get I don't know. Anything that says aioli is going to be mayonnaise based, basically, or an oil and whatever. I mean, and that's. I think I've said it before, but Taco Bell, all their sauces, it's not real Mexican food, but all their sauces are mayonnaise based. Even their cheese sauce is like a mayonnaise based, and it's good. There's a reason. There's a reason it works.
There's sugar.
The American palate likes mayonnaise, whether you think you like mayonnaise or not. If you're an adult that can admit it, or if you're a kid that doesn't like tomato and says you don't like mayonnaise and ew, that's gross, but I'll take the aioli.
Yeah.
It's on there. But one thing I've just realized we skipped over with that I will do with the vegetable side of things too is I'll saute mushroom and onion. Yes. And I do like that on a burger.
Yep.
And that's
I even like adding red pepper.
Like crushed red pepper or like a bell pepper. Bell pepper.
Yep.
That would
be like a trifecta right there.
Yeah. That would be good too. Yeah, sauteing anything. I mean, stack it up. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Just that something with mushroom and onion. They just go together.
Yeah.
I think I don't know
because the mushroom absorbs the onion flavor.
I guess you can't have mushroom without onion, but you can have onion without mushroom. Maybe I like. I guess you could go one without the other both ways, but. I like. I do like mushroom and onion. If I'm doing like a black and blue, like blue cheese or whatever, I like to have the burger, maybe some bacon if really splurging, and then mushroom and onion with the blue cheese, and then I really don't know that I need another a condiment on top when you have that. But yeah, any aioli, maybe a garlic aioli. I don't know if that would conflict with the blue cheese a little bit, but yeah, an aioli on a burger, you're going to have that at most restaurants. There's going to be some it's going to be right on the menu. It's going to sound fancy.
You're going to dip your fries in it.
It's flavored mayonnaise. Yeah, like a garlic aioli with your French fries. That's like, I don't think there's not a better side dish to a burger than French fries.
No. People will argue onion rings, but I don't agree.
Yeah, onion rings are good. They're a close second, but they're not.
It's not a staple.
I don't know how close of a second it is. It's like the only second. Maybe some potato chips or something. But sweet potato
pays
fries.
more for fries if there's potato chips or French fries.
Yeah. Would you like to upgrade to our French fries? Yeah, I'll pay a little more. I'll have the fries, especially with a burger. But yeah, sweet potato fries are good, but I'd say it goes regular French fries, onion rings, then sweet potato fries.
Then mozzarella sticks.
Oh, yeah. Well, anything fried, I guess. Potato chips are just cold fried food.
Yep.
But, yeah, so I don't know if that's kind of... I'm trying to think if we missed anything.
Well,
there's not much variation. I mean, if you really want to get into technique and everything, then you've got to look at. There are different methods. Like I said, there's steaming. You can do a steamed burger. You can do a deep fried burger. You can do, we talked about griddle and grill and all that. But I think burgers are just something that everybody's had and knows how to make.
Yeah.
But it might just be a matter of don't overcook your burger, because an overcooked dry burger will require extra condiments, and you won't know it till you take a bite and this is dry and nasty. So pay attention to especially if you're doing a smash burger, they're real quick. It's a very quick turnaround because it's a thin burger. But if you're doing a thicker burger, to your point of when you tried smoking them, and it just cooked for too long, and it can get dry because it required that amount of time to get up to temperature, and by then everything's cooked out. So whatever you're doing, a meat thermometer, I mean, you shouldn't need a meat thermometer typically for a burger.
No.
But
go by feel.
But you can go by feel. But if you're really worried about it, use a meat thermometer and you don't want a well done burger. That's a hockey puck, and it's not going to be good. But maybe this episode or these last two episodes just gave you more ideas on how to, I don't know, maybe just get crazy with it. I mean, especially if you're just cooking it at home, you make a mistake. We've all made mistakes. Yep, that didn't work. Never mind, was a bad idea. And maybe you want to do a stuffed burger. I kind of said that it's not worth the hassle to me personally, just because it doesn't add. I don't think it adds enough to make it worth the pain that it is to prep it. But if you prefer it that way, I talked to a guy 2 days ago who told me, you got to make sure to talk about the stuffed burger. And for me, it's just not.
You did.
I did. That's what I got to say about that. But he really likes, and he likes making them that way.
Yeah.
And maybe if I had one of his burgers, I might change my mind. I don't know. Maybe I'm making them wrong. But I don't think anything that we've talked about is real groundbreaking or real super technical in any way. But maybe just talking about it hopefully gave somebody an idea.
Well, all I have to say is if you're meeting somebody for the first time, maybe got invited to a barbecue or you're going out to a restaurant, get a burger the first meal you get from them. If they can't make a good burger, that's all you need to know.
As far as like the restaurant itself?
The restaurant itself
or the person?
People themselves. You can't make a good burger.
Yeah, you don't need to be friends with those kind of people.
Do not make me chicken. It will be dry.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, burgers are good. Yeah, if you can't make a burger, that's kind of like my feeling, and I don't ever buy.
It's like a baseline.
Yeah. Same with breakfast. If you can't make a decent breakfast, I mean, breakfast is, you can elevate it, but it's not that hard to make a good breakfast.
Yeah.
Same with a burger. I agree to that. And but I can remember, so a little bit of a tangent. That being said, I remember my wife and I this was 10, 15 years ago, we were high school youth group leaders at our church. And we had all the leaders over to our house for a get-together, and I'd got a brand new gas grill that I got the week before, and we had 25 people there. So I had like 20 burger patties. And I decided that I was going to put them all on the grill at the same time, a gas grill with an open flame.
Yep.
And then before we were going to eat, somebody decided, hey, let's open with prayer. All right, let's pray. And then during the prayer, I happened to look back, and all 20 burger patties with all that fat dripping on with the closed lid were up in flames, smoke billowing everywhere. And, maybe that just, I was not thinking about the situation I was in when I walked away from that, or decided to put 20 burger patties on the grill at the same time. But you learn, that was a lesson for sure. And it was, and then everybody, okay, we're going to stop praying. We got to put the fire out. And, so
you might be onto something.
I might, yeah. So
the second time.
So give the person a little bit of grace. If that's the situation where you have a big group and you're making burgers. But attention to detail. It's simple, and that's what all cooking is. It's just taking. I don't know. I don't buy the pre-shaped beef patties. I'll buy beef if I'm buying ground beef, and I'll shape it into my own patties. And maybe that's stubbornness, and there's nothing wrong with buying the pre-shaped patties. A lot of times when we go out up north with friends and stuff, and we go camping, a buddy will buy a box of frozen beef patties from Gordon Foods.
They're delicious,
and they do taste good.
Yeah.
And they do taste good.
They're all full of fat.
But and he just throws I hear the bouncing off the grate as you're throwing the frozen beef on there. And I'm sure a lot of restaurants use that as their burger.
Yep.
A lot of diners, and not everybody's making stuff by hand, but so it's hard to lose with a burger, and just like anything else, it just whatever. You can put a lot of effort into something and have it not turn out, and you can put a little effort into something and have it taste fantastic. It's just, but I think if you put the right flavors together, and it's just what cooking is. It's fun. You have some successes. You have more failures than successes. But once you start to realize what caused those failures and what you can do to eliminate that the next time around, or maybe it takes you 3 or 4 tries before you figure it out. But anyway.
I got a little trick before we go.
Yep.
Nose trick. So you touch the tip of your nose. That is rare. Middle of your nose, medium. Like where your eyebrow meets your nose. Yeah, the ridge there.
Bridge?
Bridge, yeah.
Bridge?
That is well done. You touch it.
Interesting.
Yeah. There's also a thing with your thumb when you push it, but that's hard to explain without showing.
Touch your pinky, touch your ring finger, index. And that'd be good with, I don't know.
That's so you don't have to poke it all the time.
I know. I don't trust we're in construction, we got calloused hands. How does that factor into the finger, thumb muscle checking? I don't know if we got callus right there.
Done, well done.
Still almost
super done.
Not done. Yeah.
So, no, but the nose, you can't get calluses on your nose.
That is true. If you do,
that's
got calluses
the same thing with
nose.
a steak and everything too.
Interesting.
But little tip that you didn't know
it
you
might
needed.
Work. I never tried that.
Do not quote me.
I'll touch my nose, then thermometer check it.
Yeah. I don't know how it works with broken noses, so.
Well, I always wondered. Yeah, right. I always think those methods, and I'm not discrediting what you're saying. I always try to do that, and I'm like, oh no, it's not quite right. Or I just put the thermometer in the dumb thing and check the temperature. And because I think I don't know if it's like a man thing or a pride thing. Like, I don't need to stick the thermometer into me. I know when it's done. I can just feel it. And I know when it's done. I just put the thermometer in there. Quit touching your face and touching our meat. Jeez, beast. But anyway. Well, we're yakking about food.
Thanks for listening.
Like always. Yeah, we're talking about burgers. Hopefully this was entertaining.
Yeah.
And any comments you got, feel free to send them. I'd love to hear. I'm sure there's stuff that we missed.
Yes.
And something that maybe there's a hack or something that
Tell us if we're wrong, too.
And be nice though.
Yeah, kindly tell us we're wrong.
We'll just assume we're wrong until we hear different. But thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you.
And feel free to email at thecookbetterpodcast@gmail.com. And hopefully this helps somebody cook just a little bit better.
A little bit.
Thanks.
See ya.